We are finally leaving the dock. We have our life raft back, we have our diesel tanks cleaned, and we have provisions.
I am so ready to go. We're gonna take you on for a bit of a ride this time because we're gonna go sailing overnight to a place called Bora. I'm sure you guys have all seen it in the magazines, and we're gonna talk about some of the biggest, baddest, and best things that have ever happened to us. You see that boat anchored in turquoise water? It looks like a dream. And it is, but dreams have a price. Holy shit, that was like within like 2 feet of us. You see, whether you're paying for an overwater bungalow in Bora or you sailed here yourself, the price still gets paid. For us, it wasn't a jet and a concierge car ride. Instead, we crossed oceans, fought through storms, and faced questionable fishing boats in the middle of nowhere. Oh, the adrenaline's pumping so hard. Wow! What are you doing? Those miles, those moments, they were the price we paid, but they also shaped who we are. Because this journey has given us something rare, the freedom to chase the wind, to arrive somewhere where we've never been, and to feel truly, wildly alive.
So I did a last minute epic dinghy ride to get some syrup.
We're from Canada, so we need maple syrup to run the boat. That's what our engines run on.
That might have been the most epic maple syrup run I've ever done, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the diesel tanks are full of maple syrup, the jerry cans are full of diesel, the fridges are stocked.
We've been trying to teach the kids what fuel goes where, but you know, maple syrup goes in the kids, they're fueled by that. All right, I'll go start on time. Gotta get some shoes on. Dock's hot.
All right, we are going to kick things off as we leave Tahiti here and talk about, well, what everyone thinks about when you sail around the world, storms. What is the craziest, biggest storm we've ever had, and what did we do about it? I think this is probably what instills the most fear in people, that and pirates, it seems, because those are the most questions we get when we see comments on YouTube. Weather forecasting is accurate for about 3 to 6 days at most. So when you set off across an ocean, sometimes that crossing can take 20, 30 days. So you're only gonna have accurate weather forecasting for the first week at most after you leave land. And we encountered some weather that was absolutely gnarly. And this was off the coast of Brazil as we were coming across the Atlantic headed towards the Caribbean. Wow. Surfing down waves out of control at 20 knots. Not fun. The winds weren't the biggest factor. The winds were about 30 to 40 knots, but the waves were just massive. And the boat would start surfing down these waves. Our boat would start surfing down these waves uncontrolled, and we would just go at 20 knots, 25 knots down the wave. And then once we got to the trough, we would stop, and the next wave will come behind us and start filling up our cockpit, the aft area where we sit.
And then it shot up through the trampoline and in through the window. It is awful. It's super rough. It's super nasty.
It's a first. It's definitely a first for us.
It was definitely uncomfortable and it was definitely out of the norm. But I wouldn't say it was scary, but definitely one of the worst things we've ever been through. Like, that was the biggest waves, the baddest seas. It totally sucked.
We're just out in the open ocean. I'm gonna put some stuff away, close a couple hatches, and we'll get right back to the story. Talking about closing hatches, that is one of the main things you want to do on your boat. Unlike a sliding window on a house, these have what are called dogs, and you close them. Some hatches have 4 dogs. Our boat has 2 dogs per hatch, and we close them so that our boat doesn't fill up with water. We can actually sail today. This will be good. I think a few months later, we were going through the Caribbean Sea down to the Panama Canal for the second time, and we hit some pretty big weather again.
So brutal. So we've been getting this odd, massive wave from our port side, and we've been rounding up. Everything went flying, computers, everything.
But I think at the end of the day, like, really all that we do when we get into weather like that is, one, we go downwind, so we go with the waves and the wind. And two, we just throw stuff off the back and tie stuff off the back to slow the boat down. And that's all it is. These lines tied to this cleat slow the boat down. What happens is you get really big waves sometimes and the boat starts surfing down these waves really uncontrolled at breakneck speeds. And the worry is that the boat will come down the wave and then go sideways and flip.
There are like real things you can buy, like a drogue.
Yeah, they're called drogues, but makeshift drogues work just as well, and they're easy to deploy and easy to retrieve, and you have lots of line on board to do it with. When you start to slow the boat down to stop the surfs, the waves still keep coming, and they'll roll into the back of the boat. And what I do there is I start to put boards at the back of the boat right here. It's not as scary, I think, as most people think when you get into a big storm. It is simply uncomfortable aboard, and I think that's where everyone suffers.
Okay, in the last like 20 minutes, it's just picked up to insane speed. And I'm actually just kind of tired of it and really just want it to end.
Frankly, I'm done with this. This is so annoying. Check this out. The washing machine has completely fallen down onto the toilet. What a pain in the ass, this passage.
I'm ready for this to be over. Hang on!
3 a.m. off the coast of Colombia, gusting mid-30s. Usually we have waves come in through there. We've had a wave come in over that side. Everything is soaked. I had to close the door at one point because it was starting to fill up. Fun times. You want to go sail around the world? Well, this is part of it, people. I guess the lesson there is have lots of leeway, like lots of sea room. Never be on a lee shore. A lee shore is where the wind is pushing you onto land. If you have a day or 3 days between you and the next piece of land downwind, you're fine. You can just go with it and ride it out, and the storm will pass over top of you. It's not the sea that'll sink your boat, it's the land puncturing your boat that will cause you issues.
Or apparently the whale's out here.
Or the whales, hitting a whale. We are just passing Moria right back here. It's beautiful, but there's a lot of whales around here usually. So I think me and Ashley just made the decision to not go to Moria, which is a 4-hour sail. Instead, go to Bora, which is an overnight sail. Literally made that decision, I don't know, as soon as we got out here and the wind was right, and it just seemed like the right thing to do. And that's the beauty of sailing. You can just change your destination if it works for you. I mean, you can change and say, I want to go to Tonga instead of Fiji. I want to go to New Zealand. I want to go to this country tomorrow or today, in the next hour. That's the beautiful part about sailing on your boat. You just get to move in your own rhythm without the schedules of an airplane or a ferry or a taxi or whatever it may be. Just whatever the wind's doing, go do with that. Family's all passed out within minutes of heading out here. Bodhi's sleeping with his monkey. Willa's sleeping with her bunny. Mama is sleeping by herself. Oh, we gotta wake her. One's awake. One's awake. Storms come and go, but this is why we do it. We can change countries on a whim, wake up in one anchorage and decide to chase the wind to another. No tickets, no terminals, just a weather window and a gut feeling. This isn't just travel, it's freedom in its rawest form. And sure, sometimes the ocean kicks back, but most days you get this. The rush of canvas filling with wind, the silence after the winch stops clicking, and that feeling you're exactly where you're meant to be.
Why? Because you've been at the dock too long and you gotta find fishing gear?
Oh my goodness. Like the fishing gear situation is a little dire because I share my fishing locker with the kids' toys. But it's time to go fishing, I think. So I once met a cruiser in Malaysia. He had lost 2 wives overboard. we all kind of like were like, "Are you sure? That's a pretty like big mistake to make twice." Weird stuff happens offshore, I tell you. But this handline is literally a big shock board. It's a big rubber, and you got paracord after that, and then you got some 300-pound tests, and that's it. That'll catch us a fish, probably. Tuna tacos for dinner.
It's about to get dark. And you know what happens when it gets dark? The pirates come out. Batten down the hatches, everyone. This is the scary night.
The pirates only strike at night. I don't know if you knew that, but it's pretty accurate. No, it's not. We've seen our fair of pirates in our days, but we're not sure if many of them were actual pirates or if they were just fishermen.
It's very hard to know what's a real pirate and what's a fisherman. And everyone that we've managed to get close to has actually turned out to be a fisherman.
We have a dinner happening over here. What's for dinner, guys? And we got sunset happening up here. I've never seen a green flash. I think Ashley has. But the most amazing thing out here is a lack of obstructions on the ocean. Unlike a city, there's just nothing around. Except for your Starlink dish. It gets in every shot. It's a pretty nice night out here. We have a little bit of a side chop coming from the starboard side or the right hand side, and then there's a bigger swell rolling through from the south. Fish count is 0 today. Alright, let's talk about pirates, because everyone is always curious about our pirate encounters as we've sailed around the world. There's some lightheartedness to this conversation, but also some very serious parts to it as well. We classify pirates as those that are just hooligans trying to steal something, make an easy, quick buck, versus the pirates that are hostage-taking kind of pirates that will hold you for ransom. That's a completely separate camp. Those zones are generally fairly well designed, such as off Somalia, the southern Philippines, and the Gulf of Guinea on the west coast of Africa as well is a hotspot. We avoid those areas altogether. We will sail weeks around those areas to avoid transiting through them. We have had a few encounters that were a little hair-raising.
So if you're new here, we are attempting a circumnavigation. We are halfway around the world, and we have 2 kids on board.
You get these huge fishing fleets coming out of Sri Lanka. These guys were aggressive, man. They would see you off on the horizon, do a 90 degree, come right at you, steer across your bow so that you would stop, and then they would want to trade fish for cigarettes, beer, and food, but mostly cigarettes and beer.
Bodhi's crying.
Whoa, nice.
Oh, we're worried. We don't want you to.
Bye, thank you.
Now, that is a daytime experience. We've had a few nighttime experiences as well. The thing is, when you are anchored at night, you're gonna usually have some lights on your boat. You're out either eating dinner, reading a book, just going about your night, evening, and you will have some lights on, which attracts little fish. Those little fish attract bigger fish, and eventually you have a bit of a school of fish underneath your boat. And locals often know this, so they'll come out with their canoe, their outrigger canoe or their dugout canoe, and literally anchor within a boat length, 2 boat lengths off of your boat, and start fishing. And it's really unnerving because it's dark out. You kind of can't shoo them away. It's their backyard. You don't want to piss them off, because if you start shining a high-powered spotlight at them, maybe they'll come back later in the night with their buddy just because you pissed them off on their own turf. What I do often is I just turn off all the lights, and then I start walking around. You can make yourself known. There's lots of things you can do that is very universal in terms of body language and mannerisms that indicate that you're not comfortable. We've also had some incredible experiences with fishermen. For example, in Indonesia, I think it was 4 or 5 of these dugouts, single hull, long, narrow canoes that started fishing around us, and we had a fantastic trade after dark.
So the fishermen are coming for a visit, hey Ben?
We got a lot of fishermen all of a sudden. Where's the fish? You have fish?
My name is Usman.
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 I'm Ben.
Ben.
That was the most crazy night ever. One dude hopped on board and I told him no. Like I just stuck out my chest, walked towards him. He's like, okay, no. And then we just proceeded to trade. 3 t-shirts, a pair of board shorts, and a case of cookies, plus a dry shirt, plus fins.
Ben gave away my mom's fins. Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, mother-in-law.
He's been wanting one of these guns, and they have such cool, like, just really simple homemade guns here, and Ben's coveted one for a while.
It's pretty cool, man. It's like homemade. And I've offered them fins, and they call this a costume. It's a dry shirt.
I gave away his good dry shirt.
Whatever. But I'm stoked. That spear gun's gonna go on my wall in my house someday, somewhere.
They started dynamite fishing around our boat. They make these little glass bottles and they fill them with dynamite and then a wick, and it just goes woof, like a little pop, and it stuns the fish, and then they go down and spearfish them. Not saying I condone this, absolutely not, because it destroys the reef and it's not good long term, but it was one of those experiences that you don't get very often. You got curious people that are literally in Papua New Guinea in dugouts looking at your boat thinking, whoa, that's a lot of solar, or they're looking at your inflatable dinghy when they're in a dugout canoe, you know, thinking that's pretty cool.
Tomorrow she's going to make the biscuit. Huh?
No, she didn't say tomorrow.
Oh, maybe.
She said maybe.
I'm not a very awesome baker. Needs a magic touch. Bye, Bora. Bye.
Now, the worst experience we've ever had was anchored in the Seychelles. You'd think that the Seychelles are quite nice. You know, it's a high-end resort destination, but there's also a lot of poverty in the Seychelles, a lot of drug use. And we had a Rastafarian. He'd climbed aboard. There's 2 of them, 2 dudes, in one of those plastic kayaks.
Oh, the adrenaline's pumping so hard. Oh my goodness, these little right here tried to board our boat. 2:30 a.m. Oh man, I heard the alarm go off. How you doing, Ash? You okay? You wanna come sit?
Yeah, I don't know. That was the first time we've ever been boarded.
I heard the alarm go off. This is the alarm.
And I thought it was a false alarm.
Yeah, I thought it was false alarm too. So I stick my head up over here, because I always look up first to see if, you know, they have a gun or something. I see them right there in the corner. I rip open the door, I go, rip open, go, wow, what are you doing? And then I hear splash, splash. And then I shine my flashlight over there, and it's like the Rastafarians with their, you know, Bob Marley hats all soaking wet, trying to get back into their kayak.
Out of all the countries we've ever been in, the Seychelles is the only place we've ever been boarded. The good things we did do is we did pull up the dinghy last night. Some people don't pull their dinghies up every night, and you really need to, especially in countries like this where there is sort of common petty theft.
Or poor Bodhi up because I yelled so hard. I made the decision to rush them. That was before we'd gone to Africa. I don't know if I would do that in Africa. Africa has a lot of violent crime. I probably would think about it twice, maybe 3 times. But in this case, it worked.
Done.
Okay, let's do milk.
Okay, I don't want to do.
No, you gotta froth the milk first.
Oh.
Yeah, put this milk on there.
I do that then.
Okay, what button do you push? In.
Now I know I could.
Hold out. It's done.
I was worried for a minute they might not see us. It's a beautiful day. Bora Bora straight ahead. Raiateas and Taha are just to our port side. And we are flying upwind. Sailing quick, doing about 6 to 7 knots, and that's good. We'll get in earlier now to Bora Bora. The night shifts can be hard, and this morning was no exception. I was so tired this morning when I woke up from my shift. But I got a workout in.
Do you see land, Bodhi?
Yes. No way.
It's not Nui. It's Raiatea, and then it's Bora Bora. Can you say Bora Bora?
Such a good passage. No fish though. I think you should go back to all mono instead of this paracord. We used to catch more fish.
So right back there, you probably won't be able to see it. We just went by a FAD, a fish aggregation device. Here in French Polynesia, they're usually a string of buoys tied together, maybe 3 meters long in total length. And then there's usually a pole with a flag off the top of it. It's not like you're gonna be able to spot it in heavy weather, but they're somewhat marked on the charts. Like there'll be marks on the chart saying there's FADs around. The actual FAD location may differ. It totally reminds me of other FADs we've seen over the years.
These rafts are especially interesting because they're not anchored to the sea floor. They are floating FADs that often wash up on the shores of the South Pacific Islands.
It seems like a FAD, but there's this thing, which is,
It's like a sensor thing, isn't it?
yeah, it's like an ocean thing.
Oh, shark! Does it measure temperature or something?
Yeah, it must measure temperature. I think it's some sort of scientific device that...
Okay, let's go to land.
This whole contraption is a fish aggregation device. You find them all over the French Polynesia Tuamotus because we're downwind in the Pacific. What they do is they put these together with bamboo and plastic, then they cover them in a net, and it all creates shade for the fish to congregate underneath. And eventually you get a huge, massive fish underneath. This buoy is both a transponder, so measuring what kind of fish mass is underneath the water, and it's also a satellite communications device, so it sends the data from the transponder up to the satellites, telling it what kind of fish mass is underneath this whole thing and its exact GPS location, and then the purse seiners come and scoop up what's underneath. In the Philippines, they would anchor these huge cylinders, metal cylinders, in thousands of feet of water. Don't ask me how. It's pretty wild stumbling across those because you're never going to spot those on radar, and they would do some damage. There's some Filipino Instagram channels that put up reels of them deploying the FADs and fishing around the FADs. Really cool Instagram channels. In Indonesia, in the Java Sea, we started seeing huts, bamboo huts on top of bamboo rafts. Almost hit one of those at sunset.
Holy shit.
You almost hit something. Well, that's a bit nerve-wracking. Woo!
I thought that was like a canoe, like a sailboat. No, it's like a dock. It's a FAD. That's crazy, man. We gotta run the radar. That was like within like 2 feet of us. That's intense, man. So lucky we didn't hit that. I don't know what kind of damage they would have done. Once we got into the Indian Ocean on our way to Africa off of the coast of Sri Lanka, we started seeing just metal objects. Again, big metal, I think they were just like reused or repurposed cylinders that they would again anchor in hundreds or thousands of feet of water. Crazy, crazy stuff fishermen do out there to attract the fish and bring home the bacon for their family. Well, there it is, the iconic Bora Bora. Thanks to you guys watching, we've been here twice now. First circumnavigation, now again on the second circumnavigation is kind of the island in the middle, and then there's an outer reef that encircles that whole thing. So you basically anchor off that big island in the middle. So it's really calm in there and beautiful and crystal clear waters. Lots of over-the-water bungalows that are just gorgeous and expensive. Or you can just grab a mooring ball, or like we do, and I think it's about 30-40 bucks a night. They don't let you anchor anymore. Last time we were here 8 years ago, we were allowed to anchor everywhere, but that's been no longer the case. Hey, I'll take it. 40 bucks a night, that's a bargain compared to $1,000 a night for a bungalow. How cool is that? arriving on our own sailboat in Bora Bora. Super cool. That's a pretty rare experience for most people. Not many people get to do that. You either arrive by airplane, which is what most people do, like a puddle jumper from Tahiti, or you arrive by ferry. There is a couple of charter companies here that do charters like moorings, and that might be it. I don't think there is another charter base here, but you can already see the overwater bungalows off in the distance.
Bodhi, not that way. And Bodhi,
So we're here in Bora Bora, and it is stunning. It is beautiful. The water is turquoise. We're anchored off an island, sort of on the outside part along the reef, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It has been hectic. Like, I would say the last 2 days have been a bit like of the hardest nights on a mooring we've had in a long time. It's like katabatic winds coming down over the hills here, and gusts, and then there's current. So like we're sideways sometimes, and then a gust will hit us and we'll go flying around, or we'll get shoved over the mooring ball.
It's been massive rainstorms, like massive. And I think it's all to say, you know, what you see on the Instagram pages or wherever else, there's a lot behind the scene that goes on. And
this is what you see, this
yes,
stunning Bora Bora.
this.
It is absolutely
Is that gorgeous?
stunning here.
Wow, that watercolor. All of that to say, though, you know, we're second time around the world now, second lap, and it makes us realize, you know, people sail around the world for lots of different reasons. I mean, some do it to escape their life at home or the way they knew it. Some do it to see the world, and others do it to see culture and experience people and connect with other people.
So there's been a little change in plan aboard Nahoa, and we're off to Fiji, and we're really excited actually, because we were thinking about Fiji and all our experiences there, and we just finished watching this little video that we made ages ago, 8 years ago.
We were old, or young. We're old now. Yeah, 7, 8 years ago. We were much younger, sitting in the same spot though.
Here, we'll show you the footage. These kids from the village, they swam from the beach all the way out to our boat. You know how far that is? I was editing a video and Ashley goes, Ben, I think we have visitors.
Nice job, guys. Good swimming.
And then we threw them the life ring when they got like closer, and they came aboard, and we had the most amazing time.
Here.
We don't like salt on the boat, so you gotta rinse.
Woo!
Oh.
Fresh water.
Yes! Here's your one number. Okay.
Okay, come in.
Okay.
You can sleep up here.
Yes, sleep.
And then when you're sailing, you can see the ocean go underneath. They want to see the inside. Yeah. That's the drone.
Apple, man. Very good. Apple.
So that's for if the boat flips over?
Boat will go down and you open this and you go out, eh?
Yeah, if you're upside down. If you see a boat a long ways away.
Try this.
Oh my god! Lala, every day you go this.
Pour some more. They want me to fly the drone for them, so I think we'll fly the drone.
Oh, they're black and white.
We have a problem. They lost one of their shirts. I think we gotta go dive for it.
Ready?
Let's go snorkeling.
Whoa! Maybe you can get it.
Yeah, man, we got the shirt. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Yes.
Stand there. Bucks, get in there, stand there.
Right here.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right?
Thank you.
Boat!
Beniasi boat.
Hula!
Apparently I'm not driving. You know where the reef opening is?
Get in, this way. Hey, look, coffee, okay?
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Vanaka, vanaka.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll come back.
See you next time, eh?
The pirates. Oh. Wow. Are you doing the laundry? I love it. She does the laundry in a gale. My kind of woman. Sunglasses off.
No,
Yes.
no. I don't take mine off. Might get too squinty. Are you gonna crop us in? Is that okay?
Bulla malea ke biti talema. Bulla!